Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone. And he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic. So please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin, because it's just so fucking sad.
That's right, Stabbing Westward is on tour right now. See Stabbing Westward on tour right now. See Carlton, the guitar player, on crack.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday Night Raw! I love Monday Night Raw! So let's look at Chelsea Green's sphincter. Look at her bum bum.
The most mature audience
Cody Rhodes.
shit you've ever heard.
I don't believe Cody Rhodes is here.
From Boston. Broadcasting all over the world. Send the soy boys home. 'Cause we ain't gonna sugarcoat shit.
Drop down, let me give it to you.
This is the Joe Cronin Show.
This is
Here's Joe Cronin.
Now.
I don't know why I'm doing that. Yo, what's up? Daddy, do you taste it? Let me tell you something. Daddy never tastes so good. Because tonight, Monday Night Raw was in the ring. And we got it on. Hey, Dom knows how to get that heat now. Oh, Monday Night Raw was a sleepy time tonight. What did you guys think of Monday Night Raw tonight? One thing I do know, when Monday Night Raw was shocking, good, and amazing, we used to have 1,000 people watch my review. When Monday Night Raw was somewhat, had some decent parts to it and had some talent on it, but then a lot of it was trash. But it was like enraging trash as opposed to sleepy trash. We used to have 1,000 people watching my show live every single Monday Night Raw. And now ever since it's gone into sleepy mode, people have decided to go to sleep. So Raw, there was actually a couple of parts of Raw that I thought were pretty good. Like that I thought were like that was nice. Good job there. Problem is it tallied up about, I don't know what you would give it a total of, but 12 minutes of valuable content to me. I would have to say, I already right now know my 3 stars of the night. I have 3 stars of the night to give out. And you know what? Some nights I don't have any stars. I have 0. And some nights I have 1 or 2 little points. That was good. That was kind of nice. Oh, well. And then the rest put me to bed and it was annoying and enraging and whatever, da-da-da. But tonight, I've got 3 things that made me go, ooh, what's that? Or, oh, that was pretty nice. Like, there were 3 things that made me do that tonight, and I'm going to tell you what they are in a second, in a minute. right after I plug the fact that we need some people to choose a path. If you guys want to support the channel, the best way to do it is by becoming a member down below or donating live via Super Chat or the donation link pinned to the top of the chat right now, or by becoming a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Download the app. There are hundreds of audio podcasts that I've done solo that are on here for you, even for $2 a month. And nobody's heard them on YouTube unless you're here. Unless you're one of the 1,300 ever patrons and the current 130 patrons, you've never heard the audio from the podcasts that are on Patreon right now. That you can download, keep forever, do whatever you want. Except, well, you can't like replay it and sell it or something. You could probably sue you then, but don't do that. But you know what I mean. Yeah, so, and then plus the corrupted podcast and everything else. So Patreon, plus you get the alerts when I'm live. YouTube doesn't tell you I'm live. Patreon does. And it helps the show out a lot. Think about doing it. Membership, Patreon, whatever, live donation, something. Anyway, we'll get to the three things that I thought were pretty good tonight. Obviously, you guys know having to go back to work full-time and everything else that I'm doing. My Monday Night Raw reviews aren't even that long anymore, really, unless for some reason I feel the need to go long, like an hour or 2 hours. Rarely do we do that anymore. Now it's more of a, I come on here, give you my little quick punches about what I thought the show was in about 30, 40 minutes, and bedtime. Maybe someday I'll hit the lottery and I'll become rich, and I'll stay up all night on Monday nights, and I'll break this thing down and snap my own pecker in half live on YouTube for all of you guys to see. But in the meantime, we only have 52 likes, and there's 218 people here, so please hit that like button if you can't do any of the other things that I just shilled out there. Jump on here and do that. Okay? Dom getting the heat tonight. Man, it's not just Puerto Rico. Now, they did cue up the crowd. I will say that. They did prompt the crowd. Like, well, you know who I want to hear from? Dom, you talk. These people love you. You know, they really poured it on to try to make sure that the crowd was going to do the Puerto Rico thing. And they did. It worked. And now, I don't know if it was piped-in noise because it sounded authentic. To me, what I thought they did was I just thought they turned up the speakers for the audience. Like they said, when these reactions happen, they turn up the house mic to hear the crowd louder. Because the wrestlers and the reaction of Dom and the reaction of the wrestlers in the ring were reacting honestly to what the crowd was doing. So it would be pretty cheap if the crowd is actually booing a lot and loudly, but they were to be piping in sound over that. I mean, that would be really cheap because you've already got a loud sound according to the audience and the wrestlers' reactions. The wrestlers are reacting to the crowd the exact way the crowd sounds on the TV. They sound really loud, and they're really booing Dom very loudly. So, you know, I didn't think there were boos piped in here tonight, and which wasn't that much different, I thought. They said boos were piped in, what was it, last week? But, I mean, I didn't hear boos being piped in this night, you know? But it did sound like the crowd did, like, go up kind of weirdly. But I thought maybe that was just them turning the mic up. So, like, when the crowd booed, they, like, turned the volume up and then turned it back down again. So that might have been what happened. And if they do that, I don't really have a problem with that because they're sort of giving the crowd that moment. And they were trying to boo him loudly in the crowd. So I don't have a problem if they're manipulating the audio. They're producing the audio. Some would call that cheating by turning the crowd up. Some would call that manipulating. But in the business, they call it producing. They were producing the crowd volume tonight, or mixing the crowd. So if that's the real crowd and they just turned it up, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Because honestly, I think the crowd is I don't think they've done a great job of miking the crowds in the past few years. And I don't think it's just that the crowds are deader, and they are, but I just think that they have done a kind of a piss-poor job of miking the crowd. Because I think there's a lot more people yelling and screaming at times that we just don't hear them for whatever reason because WWE sort of covers up the mics. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they do. They cover up the mics. They've actually, over the last, especially the last 10 years, have made a concerted effort to mute the microphones a little bit better because they're worried about people yelling stuff like, hey, fuckhead, and stuff like that. So, like, they've been really conscious of sort of muting and dulling the crowd microphones. And so, and that's not a lie. That's dead serious. You can find that out from former WWE producers and people that work there. And you can also just use your own ears and listen that they are on TV and they don't want to hear certain things and they want to dull the mics a little bit. They don't want it 100%, but they do dull out the mics more than ever. So that's a problem too. Back in the Attitude Era days, all the cameras had active mics. They had house mics on. You heard a lot of stuff. Nowadays, the only time you hear things a lot of times now is you hear the wrestlers because of the cameraman. There's only, I think, the one camera near the ring has the microphone, and then there are microphones in the turnbuckles or something. I believe someone said that. So regardless, though, back in the day, it used to be everything was on. Like all the mics are on. They had a little bit of every mic on. And so, I don't mind them sort of producing, mixing, and fluctuating the audio, especially, obviously, if it's real. But if you're piping in fake boos or crowd noise or from recordings and stuff like that, obviously that's bullshit and stupid, and that's retard stuff. We're going to talk about one of the worst things I saw all night, and it was, without a doubt, Seth freaking Rollins. Now, we're going to talk about my 3 stars of the night. I'm going to give you my 3 raw stars of the night in just a minute. Don't worry. I'm going to do it. Now, we're live on YouTube in front of everybody. You know what I mean? And the donations are on, baby. I'll play them if you got them. I don't have 2 incomes here. I don't make $180,000 like some other people come on here and beg for money. Okay? I don't have that much. I don't make 2 salaries. I don't have husband and wife making $180K plus whatever they get on YouTube. All right, this is all I got in my other job. Not even close to some other people. Okay? So drop a dono and I'll play it. They're on. But I'm going to tell you about the worst thing of the night. Let me tell you about the worst thing of the night as I turn the donations on. My bad, they weren't on. All right, worst thing of the night. Seth Rollins. And I can't even play it because they took it down off Twitter. Wow, this guy roasted Rollins on Twitter. I've been roasting him ever since I heard the promo. Dude, this is such a problem. Now, like I said, in a minute, I'm going to give you my top 3 things about Monday Night Raw, but this is one of the worst things. What is the worst? One of the worst things in wrestling at this time right now is when people start talking about championships for the mere reason of elevating the company and putting it on the map and all that sort of talk. That's not how you talk about a championship, man. You talk about a championship because it has lineage and it means something. It means you're the number 1 guy, or you want the money that comes with the title. That's what always made titles important. That's why the women's titles are never really important at all, because the women spend so much time destroying the championships by saying, I'm going to be the leader of the division and what the women's division needs, and the women's division and the division. Shut the fuck up with your fucking division shit. What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't mean shit. Can you imagine, like, the swimmers going out there and being like, this division needs more women that can blah, 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 blah. No, just I win the gold medal, you don't. That's what matters. That's what matters. Do you ever hear the it's like the NHL players. They win the Stanley Cup and then they're sitting there at the podium with the cup. What do? Dude, they fuck the cup. That's what they do. The NHL players like fuck the cup. Dude, they fucking kiss it. They lick it, they kiss it, they hump it, they fuck it, they suck it, they fill it up with Kellogg's Frosted Fruity Flakes and eat the fucking shit out of the cup. They eat fucking breast milk out of the Stanley Cup. That's what they do. They suck fucking fondle. How many guys have come on the Stanley Cup? I bet a lot. Did that guy sit there and say, "Oh, you know what the Toronto Maple Leafs would never win shit, but let's just have fun. The Toronto Maple Leafs have won the Stanley Cup. You know what? We knew that we had to win this cup and show everybody that we lead this division, that we lead this NHL, that we're the best for this NHL." No, they don't go out there and say that. You know what they say? Fuck yeah! We're the champions! Yeah, baby! Stanley Cup, baby! No! La, 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 la. And they hold the cup up. Yeah! That's what they do. I want to be a champion. I want to be the best. We want to be the best. We want to be the team. We want the cup. Not, I'm the division. I'm going to lead the division, the women's division. I'm a cunt face. Your championships don't matter worth a shit because who gives a fuck about you being the leader of the fucking definition? Shove the cup up your ass in the fucking women's division. And that's the same thing when you do this. Oh, there's going to be a new time coming because I'm going to show this blah, blah. It's just so stupid. That's not what it's about. You know what? I'm the best and that do you understand what that world title, that world heavyweight championship represents? This thing, look at that beautiful championship belt. That represents the merging of legends. That belt represents lineage. We're talking about Triple H, Ric Flair, Goldberg, and so many others. You know the lineage, you know the history, and this belt is back. There's another pay grade around here that's at a level I want a piece of. Do you understand how much money that belt is going to dish out to the person who first wins it? Do you understand the payroll increase? But it's not just about the payroll increase. Oh, I want the dollars, no doubt about it. But the lineage of that belt. You know, there's a huge plaque at WWE headquarters with the names of every individual who ever held it in the years that they held it. That history will never die. It will live forever. And there's two things that I would love more than ever, and that's to live forever and to be one of the richest pro wrestlers that ever lived and one of the richest men that ever lived. And baby, I see what's in my future. I see the world heavyweight champion, the richest man in WWE. And after that, I'll be the richest man in Hollywood because that's always number 3 when you're a mega star. Hollywood comes calling, and you know that Hollywood will come calling eventually for me, just like The Rock, just like John Cena, and just like Seth freaking Rollins, baby! Ow! So get a close-up on this, Mr. Director, because coming this summer, Seth freaking Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion. Now that's the promo that I'm looking for. That's the thing that I'm looking for, not what I got. Which is this.
I hate to say it, but we need to change again. I don't feel...
What is this fucking music, bro? What the fuck is this music? Dude. We need to change again. What the fuck does that mean? We need to change again. Did you hear what I just did? Did you hear the promo I just cut? I just made that up out of nowhere. What is this? There's a change again. Bro, I can't even believe you couldn't even make up how terrible this is. And, people make comparisons. Seth thinks he's the Macho Man now and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, he's kind of like that, but like not quite as good, obviously. This shows you why it's not as good. Because Macho Man, can you imagine if Macho Man cut a promo? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like they're relaunching the world title. And Macho Man is cutting this promo. Like, listen to a little bit more of this.
Like anybody at the top wants to take any risks with the titles they're holding, I think they're more about protecting themselves than about pushing the industry forward. And so now is the perfect time for a new World Heavyweight Championship. And we can do it the way it's supposed to be done.
With that answer, I've got to ask.
Why are they saying this stuff? So instead of what I did, what are you doing? What are you doing? So instead of being like doing what I did, which was putting over the World Heavyweight Championship, you're knocking the other belts. Why the fuck are you knocking the other belts and knocking all the other wrestlers? I mean, I agree with him kind of that people aren't taking risks. What does that mean exactly? What risks aren't they taking? That they won't dive off the top of a Hell in the Cell? That they won't have more matches, I guess? Is that a risk, having more matches? Okay. So this is so wishy-washy fucking weird. This is terrible. Who came up with this? They should be fired! Because you're putting down Roman Reigns and his world titles when you protected him so badly to not give him to Cody Rhodes, but you're protecting him like he's the Messiah. But now this guy's coming out and saying he's really not that big a deal and he's lame and he won't take any risks. So we're going to do it differently now with the other belt. Man, this is fucking terrible. You are literally not really putting over the new belt. You're basically saying like, well, what the other belt, the other people won't take risks, so we made our own little belt. So you made your own little belt since the other belt doesn't matter, but the other belt is supposed to be the biggest belt of them all. But now you're telling me this belt's going to be the real thing. But not because of how good the belt is and how much the world title means, but because we're going to do it different now.
Ask, what are your thoughts on Roman Reigns and his undisputed Universal Championship reign?
I knew you were going to get there.
I had to.
I knew you were going to get there.
He already did get there because he just took a shot at him just now. Is that the point? Now, am I missing something? Is the point of this whole thing to make Seth Rollins become the world heavyweight champion so he can do title versus Roman Reigns and unify all the belts into one huge belt? If they're doing that, I will take back kind of what I'm saying here, because then I understand this whole thing was to sort of like create this division, and then they're going to come together in the next certain amount of months and fuse all the belts together. And some people will say, well, then why did they even do this? Well, to buy time, I guess, and then to make the belts all unite. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, but if that's what they're doing, then okay, I guess that's sort of acceptable. Somebody please clip this whole rant I've done. I'm on 25 minutes right now. Clip this whole rant and send this to everybody and upload it everywhere and do whatever you can with it. I don't care. Call it Joe Cronin takes shot at WWE. Joe Cronin flips out on Raw. Joe Cronin calls out Seth Rollins. Joe Cronin flips out on WWE and Seth Rollins and everybody. I don't know. Just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with it. Just fucking, I want to see 90 videos of this. That's it.
Cannot wait for next week.
Oh, we got to wait till next week to hear the rest of it. Oh, my God. So because he asked them about Roman Reigns, now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe that is the point. Someone wins the world title and then they unify them all. And this belt was just to kind of while Roman Reigns is away for 3 or 4 months, this belt is there, but then they just wasted the belt, right? And even if they do wrestle each other and then the belts stay separate, well, you've still buried the belts. Because he's buried the belts. Here it comes again. Listen to this.
I hate to say it, but we need to change again. I don't feel like anybody at the top wants to take any risks with the titles they're holding. I think they're more about protecting themselves than about pushing the industry forward.
So why are they what are they doing this for? What are they doing this for then? It is so stupid. Why are you creating these what are you doing? All I can go with is what's in front of my face, which is that you just buried the belts. You kind of buried all the belts, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? You buried all the belts. I mean, am I crazy? That's not what I just heard? I just heard them bury the belts.
Yo.
I'm dead serious. That's what I got out of that was they just buried the belts. They were like, yo, you know what? This belt, we need this belt because the other belts, the guy won't wrestle. And the other belts don't mean anything because the guy won't wrestle. Where's my intense violin music? Give me my intense violin music. Where is it? Where is it? Where's it good?
Well, here's the thing. You know, the Macho Man. I think it's time for a different era, yeah. You see, I think it's time that we put the belt on somebody who matters, yeah. Somebody who gives a damn, yeah. So, Macho Man, you know the names of the World Heavyweight Championship. You know the lineage. You know the Ric Flairs. You know Triple H. And you know Hulk Hogan. And that's why the Macho Man Randy Savage has come back to take what is his. Because not only do I want the money, but I want the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. And even if I have to dig Miss Elizabeth up myself, I am gonna be that World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm gonna spit in the face of Linda McMahon.
Like even that is like, wow. Like, I want to see this happen. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm like entranced by this though. But Jesus, like, I think it's time. Like, this is the most fucking millennial promo for a new belt I've ever seen. It's time. And this isn't Seth. This has got to be the producers and the writers and maybe Vince McMahon. It's probably Vince McMahon. I think it's time for a change again. What does that mean? Because the world champion at the top doesn't really care. Even, like, what do you mean he doesn't care? What does that mean? He constantly cheats and wins the championship again. That's what he does. He has a huge match, and then he cheats, and then he retains the belts. You could talk about how the world champion cheats all the time. Why don't you talk about that? What is this vague, passive-aggressive shit that he said in this interview? Man, this is fucked. I can't believe this went on the fucking air, bro. This company is fucked right now. Anyway.
Shit bomb.
Kevin Patrick Tard Baby of Adnan Virk and Mike Hadley.
Yeah, I think Kevin Patrick, the Raw commentator who sucks, and if I ever see him, I'm going to slap him and take his job. Please, Monday Night Raw, hire me, please. Please hire me on color commentary, on broad, whatever, dude. Make me the main commentator. This guy sucks. Kevin Patrick sucks. Please give me a call. Good Lord, my Christ. Listening, I mean, he was actually better tonight than he's been, but it's not good ever.
New subscriber.
But it actually was better than usual. Brian Tarbett just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, bro. So, there you go. Anything I missed? Shout out to the members in the chat. Oh, I'm going to give my 3 stars of the night. Yeah, Kevin Patrick should be calling tennis. You're right about that. I should be I should be working at UPS overnight, actually. Kevin Patrick should be calling tennis, and I should be working UPS at a warehouse job at nighttime. So, my 3 things of the night were Dom was over as far as heel heat, so that was great. Best thing of the night was Dom getting more heel heat. That's number 1. And number 2, I actually think Cody Rhodes' promo was really pretty good. Although it was Cody Rhodes' promos are all similar now. Like, they're sort of the same thing. What do you want to talk about? Blah, 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 blah. But when Cody Rhodes said, like, how's your face or whatever he said, and he got all snappy, the crowd was like, ooh. And even at home, I was like, oh, shit, that's pretty good. So Cody Rhodes is number 2 for me. Dom is number 1 with the best heat. Cody Rhodes number 2. Even though the promo is starting to be a bit repetitive sort of promo from Cody Rhodes, it was good, I thought, tonight, so good stuff there. And number 3, my 3rd star of the night, I'll give it to Chelsea Green because holy shit, bro. I might Google her later tonight, if you know what I mean. Like, that was something, man. That was something. Those 2 at the truck stop turned it off right real quick, though, I'll tell you that. But, yeah, that was, those are my 3 things of the night. And we have gone through all the donations. Well, I think it's time to cancel the Raw reviews. Mr. Pico Boulevard dropped $2. And Brian Tarbett subscribed. Thank you, Brian. Welcome to the channel. It might not be here for long, but thank you for subbing to the channel. Mr. Pico Boulevard, thank you, sir, for the $2. There's my opinion of Monday Night Raw tonight. It was worthless to watch this show, obviously, and worthless to come on the air tonight. And Cody Rhodes had a suit that matched SmackDown, I guess. That was the other thing I took away from it. Cody Rhodes' suit matched SmackDown. That was nice. And so that's it. I would give Monday Night Raw tonight probably, I'm sure some people out there tonight, I will say this, some people out there tonight probably thought, Monday Night Raw was all right tonight. And I'm sure some other people thought, yeah, that was the same old shit. I'm sure there were those 2 opinions were running wild tonight. Probably. I'm going to give Monday Night Raw a 5 out of 10. Or a 4, I don't know. I'll give it a fuck, I don't know. I'll give it It had flow tonight, though. It did flow. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all that stuff, that was all right. I mean, it had a flow. It didn't feel like it was 3 hours of suffering. So I'll say that. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I'll give it a 5 out of 10, guys. All right, so there you have it. 5 out of 10 from me. 5 out of 10 Monday Night Raw. You got that thing. You can clip it and Twitter it all over the place to everybody. I don't fucking know. Do whatever you want. Monday Night Raw is useless. I probably won't review it next week or be here next week because fucking we can't even get 200 likes with 300-something people in here, 900 people coming in throughout the night, and this fucking wrestling's dead, Raw's dead, my channel's dead, and everything's dead. We'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday night, whatever the fuck it is, but I have no work Wednesday, so I'll be live tomorrow night, Tuesday night, for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, however I feel like being live for. And there's the 2 truck stop lizards right there. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone. And he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic. So please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin because it's just so fucking sad.